My friends, welcome to Talk Casual. We're broadcasting live in the Outer Rim Studios. Oh, that did it. I fucked it up.
Ah, you already did it.
Yep.
You already did it.
We're broadcasting live from the Fly Casual Studios in the Outer Rim. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, you consider the Scumbry Outer Rim?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
It's
yeah,
all
yeah,
Outer Rim here.
Scumbry.
We're all Outer Rim here.
I thought it was more like Wild Space.
Now, to the right of me today is the dancing monkey himself, Ian. Living
live.
fresh.
Live. Look, I can touch him. I can touch him. I can spread solid corona to him.
Oh, God. As always, I'm the Grandmaster Assault, Ariel. Ian, what have we got today?
We have viewer requests.
Requests?
Yes, viewer requests for this week and for next week.
Nice.
We are going to be talking Squadrons.
Squadrons
For Armada. We don't really have any news for X Wing or Armada or any other thing interesting, and we thought this would be a good time.
So we have a viewer request.
We have a viewer request
from Alexi.
Alexi, yeah, he's part of our league, and yeah, he was just curious if we could spend some time talking about Squadrons. What Squadrons we can pair well together, pair well with what fleets and all that sort of stuff. So,
very good.
Yes, it's I'm kind of prepared, and you're not. We'll do Rebels this week, and we'll probably do some Imperials next week.
I'll be prepared for Imperials.
You prepared for Imperials?
I've got my bit of take on Rebel stuff, what I've faced against what's nasty, and
So we can have some fun talking Rebel jank, and then we'll talk some Imperial jank next week.
Yep.
So let's let's jump into it.
Let's dive on in.
So, we're going to use Armada Warlords here just to go through the cards for everybody, so you can play along at home. One thing which we'll probably mention now, generally when you're putting Squadrons in a list with Armada, you're more, for Rebels especially, you probably really only got Squadrons there for two reasons. One, just to kind of protect your ships. You're not really looking to do anything to attack ships. There's sort of like that simple fighter screen just to protect your ships from being bombed. And the other one would be basically you're going full 134 points. Yep, 134 points. Oh, yep. Oh, someone's getting called.
No, I'm just turning the phone off.
Oh, he's turned the phone off. Oh, yep. Geez, you're getting the call in your own house? That happens?
Yeah, it does.
Does happen? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so 134 points, or close to it, for a massive bomber wing to fly in and to destroy enemy ships. So we're going to start off with probably the easier one first, just what makes a great fighter screen. So I'll pick this up, and here I am using someone else's computer. This is weird. So, I really don't use. So Squadrons. Here we go. Squadrons. So, simply put, Rebels happen to have possibly two of the best fighter screens you could have in the game, and I think long-term players will know this. We are talking Shara Bay and Mr. Psycho
Taiko. Yeah, I was going to say this is your basic, cheap defensive screen.
Pretty much.
If you've only got what was it, 35 points or so?
33 points.
If you only got 30 or 40 points almost here, this is it.
This is it. This is all you want.
This is your Sienna type Valen Rudolph count.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
This is probably the best thing Rebels have. This is probably no secret to anybody that this is probably the best thing they've got.
Yeah.
The reason for it is because they are both scatter aces. Shara, obviously, she has that counter 3, correct count, so you know that's going to hurt.
Yeah, you don't want to attack Shara.
And probably the best thing about Taiko is the fact you can't lock him down.
No.
You will try and... You
can't lock this.
You can't lock this. I'm flying away. Can't lock this. Jeez, you think we rehearse these things?
No.
No. So good thing about Taiko, because your ships aren't stationary with Rebels, especially got fast movers. And often you'll want to keep moving your squadrons with your ships to kind of keep protection. So an enemy opponent will probably think, okay, cool, they've got the Shara Taiko combo. I'll try and move everything in, lock down Shara, so that way when his ships move, I can then move as well. Like you might only have to send in just one squadron. Like you've got a scatter ace your own, run in Mauler Mythal or something, and just don't have it attack. Even just Mauler and Dengar can really cause a problem for these two. The difference is though Taiko's, but like, oh, I'm not going to stay here. I'm off. I'm out of here. So yeah, it's a pretty good standard thing. You really do only get probably maybe about 2 turns where they'll actually be really useful and defensive. 3 if you're lucky, but you know those 2 turns could be what makes a difference. And for 33 points, you know you really can't go wrong. Some people would say, well, 33 points, that's the same price as taking just 3 generic A-Wings. Then you got 3 fighters.
Yeah.
That is true. However, You've got scatter aces. You've got the braces.
You've got counter.
You got
Shara.
Counter of Shara. These two here are easily worth 4.
Absolutely.
They are easily worth 4 because they won't die as quick. They will survive, and
apologies, Alex. It was supposed to be 3:30, but someone decided to arrive a bit early.
So I know. I said I'd be here at 3, and I assume we start straight away. But
I said 3:30 to set things up.
3:30. Oh, okay.
I just, you know how things go. So.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
But
schedules are fun.
Yeah, but I totally agree, and because Shara's ability just to counter free and those crits counting.
Yeah,
it's almost a guarantee kind of hit.
It really is. Like, she can murder generic TIEs, generic Zs. Like, even X-Wings have a hard time popping her as well. And, she can give just as good back to, like, a bunch of X-Wings. So, yeah, she's pretty good. The only thing I keep in mind, though, don't be married to these squadrons to the point where you want them to try and survive. You want them to try and live. Look, you got to understand, this is going to be 33 points that is in your list that is going to die. Yeah. The important thing you want to do is you need to make that 33 points last.
It's just going to
It's
die.
the same. You need to make that 3 o'clock. Yep, that alarm means, I've got to go pick the kids up. But don't have to do that. Yay, lockdowns. So these here, it's 33 points you're going to give to your opponent. So you need to be aware of that as well. If they've got something like a heavy squadron list and you've got like a bunch of fast flying movers... Yep. And you're picking, say you go and pick their objective, capture the VIP. Well, here's a fun thing you can do. You pick up that VIP token, score yourself 50 points, kill their 2 squadrons, get another 33. That's going to put you in a 7-4 win and then just run away. So you need to be careful of that. It's just because they are throwaway, you need to make sure you're not throwing them away. Because you can actually lose a game because of these 33 points. Yeah. So it is very tricky. You've got to be very smart with them. Sure, they might not kill your ships, but that 33 points can also...
One thing I want to point out, especially with this list, especially with also generic A-Wings as well, is against squadronless fleets, you can throw these guys out against a ship, throw black dice, which are really generally good compared to an X-Wing red dice, and even if they attack them, I'll just scather it.
Yeah,
it's nice little ship, 2 little combo A-Wings just to plink away at shields while your ship is doing the main attack.
What you can also do as well, if you want something that's a little bit more, if you're finding, okay, I've run this a few times, and like I said, you're virtually giving 33 points to your opponent sometimes, and you're not getting enough benefit out of it, what you can do, you can actually go and drop Taiko. This is one of the things I love. Go and get yourself your generic A-Wings. Oh, right there. Yeah, not used to using Warlord. Here we go.
Yeah.
We're going to...
Apologies, we would have been using Ryan Kingston today, but seems to be down
Seems to be down for some reason.
So...
this is probably the most effective 50 points you can spend on Squadrons. You have 3 generic A-Wings, and you have Shara. Now, you can go Taiko and 1 A-Wing, but in a way, I almost prefer, if you're going to bring more than just the 2 of them, bring 4 A-Wings. So you have 2 A-Wings, 4 A-Wings, or...
You always want that even number of squadrons.
You really do. Even numbers really do help you.
Especially with the deployments.
Yes. Well, that's the main reason, because sometimes having that extra A-Wing is... that's the next thing we should probably talk about, really, for the even numbers of squadrons. Yeah. Deployment. Because if you have an odd number, well, that could be the difference between you not being able to putting down your flagship or your big, powerful hitter before they put down theirs. So always keep in mind, even numbers are good. Doesn't mean you have to. No. They're just good. It's just really good.
It's just another extra tick on there, just for fleet building.
But this 50-point combo here, you'll be surprised what this can destroy and what it can prevent. I've gone against some bombers. Let's see, what do we have? We had the, I think we got it there. South Australia regionals, 2 regionals back, I think. The one where you came in and submarined me. Yes, I'm still not bitter about that. But in that match up there was myself versus Anthony, I think it was, and he had a
the Sloan list, wasn't it?
I think it was the Sloan. No, he had the bomber list. He had a bunch of bombers. He had Price. I think it might have been the Thrawn 2 ship.
Yeah,
I think it was a Thrawn 2 ship. Yeah, it was a Thrawn 2 ship. He had Price in there. I was able to get, and I had Corvettes at the time. I was running my Corvette Swarm with Kraken and all the fun stuff. I took the 50 points of A-Wings, and he had the bombers. And these, not my A-Wings, they really hurt his squadrons quite a lot. And because even though I think he even had Dengar, but because you've got 4 A-Wings, means you can spread them out. Yeah. You can spread them out and to protect your fleet better. and to prevent them from getting Denga, yeah, keep saying about to say that wrong again. Denga Bunga. Getting Denga to try and cool, I'm gonna make this one heavy. Oh wait, but now they're still locked in with this one. They're still locked in that one. That's the other reason why it works so well, is because against things like Denga, Trash one time he bought I think he had 6 rogues.
No.
Yeah, he had 6 YT 2400s against me. I had I'm pretty sure it was Shara and the 3 generics. It might have been Shara Taiko, but I got a feeling it was just the 3 generics at the time. Because again, I like to keep that 50 points even. This year, I lost 1 A-Wing, he lost all his squadrons. Because that counter ability, I also had Torrent Far with the rerolls as well, and I was pushing the squadron commands.
That's probably one thing.
Helps.
Well, we have to announce that Torrent Far.
Yeah, we'll probably get to that one in a minute, because pretty much you take squadrons, you take Torrent Far.
Yeah, you need rerolls.
You really need the rerolls.
Because you don't have that swarm ability that compared to the Imperials.
Yes,
and that's
that really sucks. That really sucks. But yeah, that's why it just works really, really well. Straight up 50 points. If you want to drop one of these, and if you really want that scatter race, you can go and chuck in Taiko as well. Mr. Psycho, where are you? There he is, Mr. Psycho Taiko. And there you have 77 points, is that right? Oops, no, I've got to take one off. There we go, 66, now got to take 2. There we go, yeah. I'll push the wrong button, that's right. 55 points. So if you want that 55, you're starting to probably reach the limit of what you would consider a minimum squadron for defense, about 55 points. You gotta remember, because 50 points, well, that's your capture the VIP token. So you might have capture the VIP, but then they'll just kill your squadrons. You got 55 points. Hey, wouldn't you know it? They go and win it. They just kill your squadrons, run away with a 5-point win. Yeah. And then just go deal with, if you've got one of those lists that's really hard to kill, or just like a Corvette list that kites around, they'll just come in, kill your squadrons, they'll just run away and just take the point win. It's like you keep your VIP and win on 5 points. So
yeah, Alex,
you've got to be careful about that.
Alex, so yeah, the odd numbers isn't a bad thing if you want to upgrade, say, to something like an ace or something like that.
It's definitely not a bad thing. No, it's just something you keep in. It's just something to remember. Yeah. If you're looking, especially if you're looking for that deployment advantage, if you're really looking for that, you really want those even numbers so you can get that maximum deployment. Is a squadron worth taking over an upgrade card on a ship? Probably not. You're probably much better off with an upgrade on the ship, because that upgrade on the ship might be what wins you the game over a squadron, especially when it's something that's a defensive screen. So talking about those, so pretty much for that minimum sort of build, this is probably something that is where you'd probably want to...
55 points.
That's 55 points.
That's really awesome. That's 55 points.
55 points, like that is pretty good. These things go speed 5. They've got counter. They've got black dice into ships, so if it's like you said, it's against squadronless
fleets.
This is going to destroy. So Shara, Taiko, a couple of A-wings, just work around that anywhere between 33 or to 55. It's a great point range. A lot of flexibility in there. A lot of different options you can do. Another option as well. Now this is probably the best option for Rebels for a small squadron.
I presume it's going to be 1 Hawk and 1 X-Wing in this one, I presume?
No, actually, oddly not. Because I came to... this one was shown to me by somebody else, where someone else was playing this, and I think it was in our leagues. This might surprise
Is this the Andrew special?
I think it was. We are looking at YV666. Sorry, YT1300.
Oh, yes, I remember this. Yes.
Yeah, so how's this? You can take 2 of these things. Yeah. So what's that? That comes to 26 points.
This is Ian, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Ian, I think. Yeah,
Ian in his...
the other Ian, Kiwi Ian.
The Z95, wasn't it?
The Z95.
Yes, I remember this.
Yeah. Take a couple of Z95s. So if you've got ships that aren't moving fast, but you need something that's going to really, really take a lot of damage, 40 points right here. Ooh. You have two squadrons with 7 hull, counter 1 escort. The escort's not that big a thing. It kind of does help.
It just protects the Z95s from being attacked.
It does. And because the Z95s have that swarm reroll, and the 3 red dice, and hey, you can one-shot a defender with 3 red dice.
The YTs are your shields, and your Z95s are the hammers.
Those hammers, yeah. But even still, the YT with 3 blue attack dice, they're still on par with the Z95s. So again, look, if you've got a rebel fleet that isn't moving fast, like things like Starhawks, for example, don't move very fast sometimes. If you're planning on taking something like Concord with the tractors, and you're planning to stay still and 0 people and stuff, YTs are fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, they're a great defensive screen for a strategy like that. especially if you take rapid launch bays.
Rapid lunch base.
Rapid launch bays?
Yeah.
Yeah, God, you make one spelling mistake and never hit him. Yeah. It's 3 years ago. Get over it.
No!
Yeah, so you can take these here. Hell, even just taking 3 of those by themselves with advanced... you can do like advanced transponders now.
Yep.
Like Trash and I were talking about this last night, which I'll get into this build in a moment as well. But this is probably more without going to ship builds, but this is actually still a pretty decent list because you've got the power there with the Xeno 5s to really punch into generic ships. It's a bit harder against the scatter races, but you still got 4 squadrons that are shooting for 40 points. Like, that's a lot less points than the A-Wings. The A-Wings are better defensive, but these things here can indeed last longer. You could, even if you really wanted to, you could probably just take the 3 of these YT 1300s and Shara if you want to. I think that comes to...
Alex is saying YT 1300 and B-Wing combo works well with the MC80s.
They do indeed. B-Wings are more of an attacker than a defender, though, if you want to look at it. We're looking more for that defensive. We'll probably get into B-Wings. We start moving to that attacking and
Squadron
bombing.
Defensive.
Yeah,
so
it's more like Squadron defensive. And like B-Wings are okay. The trouble is with B-Wings only have 3 blue dice, I think. Or is it 2 blue, 1 black?
Rebel Jack. I can't
remember. What are B-Wings? Let's have a quick look at B-Wings. Dagger's 2 blue and a black. B-Wing, 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 B-Wing.
I think going fast.
I went past it. There it is.
B-Wing.
3 blue. So 3 blue, 14 points. Yeah, it's got 5 hull. For 1 less hull and 3 points cheaper and move speed 5, you take an A-Wing. Like, it's if you want defensive. If you're looking for a bomber list, that's when you start looking into your B-Wings. Yeah. But you can also look at Skirks for 2 more points.
Skirks! Here we go. Skirk love.
Yeah, Skirk love. Yeah. Shenanigans. Okay, so yeah, that's also something good for a defensive screen, and something which Trash was playing last night as well is obviously we are looking at Y-Wings, and it's actually amazing how effective this worked. Actually.
Yeah.
Y-Wings, 10 points. So how about this? Let's just go and take 5 of those things.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
50 points. Then we chuck in a ship. What slot of
transport with jamming beam.
Oh yeah, we're taking jamming. So yeah, it's like a transport here. This one. Jamming beams. This jamming field.
Yeah.
And there you go, advanced transponders. So you obviously put this on a ship that's like more kitted out for it. You could probably put it on Starhawk or something else. The idea of this is you're taking 50 points to protect your fleet, and you've got a couple of upgrade points here. What is this? 5, 6, 7. So 7 more points. I suppose you have to take an MC. You have to take a GR75 to do it, but jamming fields is actually pretty good for things like Y-Wings. Because here's the thing with a Y-Wing. It rolls 2 blue dice.
It's not going to kill anything.
It's not going to kill anything unless you keep hitting it.
Yeah. How
do you keep hitting a target? Keep it alive longer.
Yeah.
So jamming fields actually works very good with Y-Wings.
Yeah.
Because it's got 6 hull. You've got the advanced transponders, so it's doing its job protecting your ship. So you're going to have yourself your big mighty Starhawk. You know, you got a lot of points invested in one of these things. Just 150 points for this one base. Well, you should be flying the Mark 1. It's probably a little bit better. Yeah, so 100 just for that, and your Admiral's on there. So these things pretty much get up to 200 points. Yeah. And for 18 points, one of these things, you go and chuck advanced transponders onto this ship as well. You got the 5 A-Wings. You've got yourself your jamming fields. You can protect the Y-Wings from taking damage. The only trouble is, though, these things do have heavy, so if they've got a squadron pusher, and this is... won't spoil the game. We'll be uploading the game soon.
That's why they got the advanced transponder net, because it counters the heavies.
No, it prevents your heavy squadrons from... Your heavy squadrons will stop the ship from being attacked.
Correct.
They won't stop the squadron from moving and then attacking. Yep. So you have to be very good with your squadron placement here. Another good thing you can do as well, if you wanted to, you can go and chuck in Gold Squadron as well, if you want to keep the Y-Wings. You can even go and chuck in the generic A-Wing for 12 points. Just so that way you've got a couple of squadrons. Green Squadron. Yeah, sorry. Chuck in, that's what I mean, actually, Green Squadron.
Yeah.
Just so that way you can, or even just one generic A-Wing if you want to, just so that way you're locking down the, well, actually, you know what? It actually would pair.
Oh, here we go. He's got his...
List building. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to take 2 of these. I'm going to take 4 of them. What does that come to? That comes to 62 points. It's almost too much. 52 points. There we go. 52 points for 3 Y-Wing, for the 3 Y-Wings and 2 A-Wings. Oh no, I've got to be careful. I'm list building here now.
No,
I wasn't meant to be list building.
We're talking about Squadrons.
We're talking about Squadron, not list building.
Yeah.
The idea which I'm trying to get at here, if you bring your Y-Wings, people will probably want to attack your Y-Wings because it's a fluffy target, doesn't have counter. You got a couple of generic A-Wings in there. People aren't going to want to shoot them because of the counter. However, what your A-Wings are doing is that because they're not heavy, even Squadrons with grit, if they are locked down with an A-Wing and, say, 1 Y-Wing or 2 Y-Wings, they can prevent your Squadrons from being attacked.
The only problem I see with the A-Wings and jamming field is that the counter will also go down. The
counter also goes down, but still people will think, I'll just shoot the Y-Wing. And it's sort of... You're probably better off just taking the Y-Wings because you've got 5 Squadrons costing you more points. You know the Squadrons are all going to die, so you're probably just better off with 5 Y-Wings. Yeah. Even more, depending on what you're doing in your fleet.
And once again, a Squadronless fleet would love this as well too.
Oh, again, then you got Y-Wings against Squadrons. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, taking the jamming fields there really does help because that also works well for defensive. And 5 Squadrons, even if they're all rolling 1 dice into... Like, that's going to kill, like, a 3-hull scatter race like Mauler Mythal or Hell Runner, because it's still 5 blue dice plus a anti-squadron attack. And if they get hits on all of them, it's done. Yeah. It's done, really. It's plus
blue dice reroll.
You've got Torrent Far. Yeah, you got to take Torrent Far for it as well, for that 1 blue die reroll. It could be what helps, it could be what changes. Hell, it could even just have hot dice and that'll do it.
Yeah.
The good thing to remember with jamming fields is something that came up in the game that I recorded last night. Was that doesn't zoom in close enough, does it? No. So while the squadron at distance 1 to 2 is attacking or defending against a squadron, the attack is treated as obstructed. One of the things the players didn't realise last night, until I pointed out, was that even if the squadron was in that jamming field bubble, even if the squadron attacking is not in that bubble, it still is treated as an obstructed attack.
Yeah.
So it works pretty well. Like, it's a good little fire defense screen. I don't know if it's good as taking the 4 A-Wings because you do have to take a combo to make it work good. Hell, you could even take more Y-Wings if you wanted to, if you really want to have a good defense. I think Trash was flying 6, it was either 5 or 6 Y-Wings, and he had Gold Squadron in there as well.
Oh, okay.
He had Gold Squadron. He had 2 of these things, and I think he had an MC75 or something. It'll be up soon. I think it's the next one I've got to upload for you guys to watch.
Okay.
But yeah, so something like that. If you can have just that 1 squadron in there that doesn't have heavy, just to help hit something, so that way it doesn't. Just to help stop squadrons from moving away.
Right.
That is the only downside to the whole concept of doing this. Squadrons will be able to move away. Alrighty. I think that's probably all. We clicked the wrong button. Squadrons.
I think your stock standard kind of Jan Biggs Ball. You can talk
Jan
about.
Biggs Ball. Yeah. Now, usually when you take a Jan Biggs Ball, these do work good for defense. So Squadron, where are we? Biggs.
Because this is nasty. A Jan Biggs Ball is really nasty.
It is a real problem.
Yeah.
You know what's even worse? You take 2 X Wings and you take a YT 2500 as well.
Yeah.
Whoops, wrong button. Oh, I'm so not used to using Warlords. Damn you, Ryan Kingston.
Why do you have to be down?
Yes, why do you have to be down today when we wanted to do a stream? Okay, there we go. So here you go, 4 Squadrons again. This does come to 64 points though.
Still, it's not bad.
It's not bad. The difference with this though, if you do have an issue where a lot of people in your area are Squadron heavy, the A-Wings will work good, but they probably won't kill those squadrons as effectively as what these ships can. And these ships, they can just live, they can move, they can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because having Jan with the intel there, she can move around, do all sorts of fun things. Everybody sees Jan, they're like, oh yeah, I want to go kill Jan first, but the X-Wings are protecting her. And then when the X-Wings die, what does Jan have? Counter 2.
Yeah.
So she's not easy to kill.
No.
And she rolls a black dice into ships.
Yes.
So she's... How effective is she, Mars?
Very effective.
Very effective?
Very effective. That's why I run Saber Squadrons all of the time.
Yeah, that is. So she does have an issue with the sniping, so there is that, but she does have 2 braziers to protect herself with. And the best bit is that, oh yeah, cool, you're going to try and snipe me? No worries. Well, guess what? I can just move and stand next to you. I'll even put an X Wing next to you, and then we don't have to worry about that anymore. So, good with good play, you'll only get one hit off for that Saber Squadron, theoretically. But this here is also the good thing about this defensive squadron. Not only will it protect your ships, but it is also going to kill squadrons, because those 4 blue dice with the X-Wings is really good. Now, this works good if you have a ship that can give you those squadron commands. The reason why you'd probably take the A-Wings over this combination, 2 reasons. 1, points, because, 55 points with Taiko, as opposed to 64 points.
Yep.
That's one thing. And the A-Wings don't need squadron pushes. They've got counter. They're going to do damage.
Correct.
You don't need to push them. Just let them fly around, let them do their thing. These X-Wings will need to be pushed. Because they don't have counter. If you're not careful, your opponent might fly around and not engage with them and go and try and shoot your ships. So this will work better if you do have something like an MC-80 or even a Starhawk, something that can help push those squadrons, even two transports would do it. Or even just take 1 transport with
extended hangar base.
Expanded hangar base. So get a token on the first round. Next round's going to push up 4, then after that just activates 3. Just keeps activating those X-Wings before they die, and just Jan does whatever Jan does.
Correct.
So that there is also very effective, and the best bit is that if you want more defense, you can just keep increasing. How far can we go, Mars? There we go. 7. There you go. Now this starts getting into a heavy squadron ball now.
Yeah.
7 X-Wings, Biggs, and Jan. Would that be nice to see across the table, Mars?
No, not really.
Not really? No?
I'd say it's a bit too much on the X-Wing side. So I'd mix it up with something else.
It probably is, yeah. If we're starting to look, this list actually, this one here is probably, let me just have a quick look. I'll just double check something.
Because that's the thing with probably...
No. Okay.
I'd say almost every squadron in the Rebel side is viable. Apart from say like a Z95, but of course you've just
Z95s are completely viable. You take that back.
Yeah. Well, what would you not take from here? Like Han?
B-Wings.
B-Wings.
I don't like that speed too.
All fighters follow me.
Look, I'll probably cover this now. Okay. All these lovely named squadrons. So what have we got? We've got Corran Horn, we've got Dutch Vander, Dash Render, Han Solo, Hera, you got Kanan, Ketsu. Well, Ketsu doesn't fall in this category.
Sean loves
Kanan.
Sean loves
Ketsu. Ketsu's great. I like Ketsu too. Ketsu's pretty awesome. Okay. Ketsu is 22 points, Bomber, Grit, Rogue. 2 blue dice into a ship.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Her ability, who cares about her ability? It's while enemy squadrons are at distance 1, its speed is reduced by 2 to a minimum of 1. Yeah, whatever, who cares?
No.
That's kind of good if you got like intel squadrons, they want to get away, it's okay, but that's not why you're taking her. You're taking her for Bomber, Grit, Rogue, 2 blue dice, Scatter, Brace.
Yeah.
This thing will just chase down ships and kill them.
Yeah, I when I see Ketsu, I kind of get...
Speed 4! Ships can't fly away from a ship that goes speed 4 unless it's a Corvette with engine techs.
No.
Speed 4!
Yeah.
It's just, she's a great ship. She's good in any list. She's definitely worth 2 A-Wings. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
She's definitely worth 2 A-Wings. So if you really want to go... that is actually the other combination. You see sometimes Ketsu, Taiko, Shara. You do see that from once in a while. It's not good if you want to use it for defensive because Ketsu is not great as a protector.
No.
Because, sure, she's got the scatter on that. She doesn't have the counter. I'd rather have the 2 A-Wings with 2 counters. It's much, much better for defensive in case you were thinking that when you see the 22 points. The trouble is now, in a lot of these Rebel squadrons, which have names on them, they're all pretty much, it's based upon your list as to whether or not you want to take them. It really is. Like Luke Skywalker's ability is great. Farlander there, not too bad at all. He's pretty good. Everything's good. I'm yet to use Kanan. I really should look at him. While attacking, you may spend a die with a crit icon. If you do, the defending gains 1 raid. It's raid. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Raid! Yeah.
Lando's awesome.
Lando's just awesome. You got a flotilla there? Yeah, well, in 2 rounds you won't have him.
No. Matt Martin, have you used Matt Martin?
Matt Martin. What's he? He's Squadron phasing. Yeah, I don't like him.
You don't like him?
No, I don't like him. I tried. It's just like, so instead of rolling a black die into you, I'll put down a token that you can possibly
There you go.
shoot.
Drop one of the X-Wings and put Nora in there.
That's what I'm doing. I'm building my list now. Yeah. Nora. Now, this is where the fun begins. This is what I'm calling my Squadron Heavy nightmare list that people don't like to deal with.
Yeah, it's just Nora's ability. Just or
here we go. This comes in at a whopping 134 points.
On the dot.
On the dot. You have Jan, Biggs, 3 X-Wings. There's 3 X-Wings in it? Yes, 3 X-Wings, 4 Y-Wings, and Nora. This is how you build a fun Rebel Squadron list that will not be fun for your opponents. Because not only do you have Jan and the Biggs ball that can probably pretty much contend alone with a lot of the Squadron balls that are out there, locking them down, especially if they haven't got a ship with Squadron with Intel. Yeah. They can more or less take care of themselves. That leaves your 5 Y-Wings, all rolling black dice. If you've got someone back there with Bomber Command Center coming in, and you know, Nora's ability is a pain in the ass because that's when you don't get the crit. You always get the crit when they're down the hull. It's like, ah! But when it works, you know, if it only works once a year, it's a good year. God, the amount of Aussie advertising slogans we say.
The dads have gotten to you, Ian.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is,
I've been doing this for years. What are you talking about?
True.
Yeah. I've always
But
done
anyways, even if it's squadronless, your X-Wings will advantage from Nora as well. Bomber Command will work for everything except for Jan. Jan's
rolling a black dice. So, you know, it's just Jan often is like, oh, it's the last one to face Jan. I do Bomber Command. Oh, look at that. She gets the hit anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
how many times have we seen
How many times that happened to you?
Yeah. No, not to me.
Yeah, this is
not to me.
Now, if you want to build something fun and heavy with a Squadron bomber list, this is basically what I've been doing. If you want something a bit more variety, you want something that probably hits a bit harder because this is the other thing you got to think about too. You need to count your Squadron activations as well. Like this one here has 3, 4, 5, 10. You need 10 Squadron activations to push all these once in a round. Not a lot of heavy bomber lists can do that, even with your Varus in there. But
dumb Varus.
So what some people do is instead of taking 4 Y-Wings, we start looking at these ships here, B-Wings and Skirgs.
Oh, your Skirgs, yeah.
Skirgs. Now, personally, I think 2 more points for a faster speed and extra hull and grit is fantastic. So, let's see, how many of these can we in? 1, 2, how many points is that? It's 126 there. It's about where you're sitting.
Yeah.
What does that leave us for? So, what we could do is we could actually say, we could drop an X-Wing. Add in another Skirg, so 3 Skirgs.
5 points remaining.
5 points. Nothing but 5 points. If you want the bombers, this is the thing. Skirgs are a fantastic little ship. For this keyword here alone, grit. Because the amount of times you've got this dealing with air squadrons. You have 3 X-Wings and Jan, really hard to kill, real problematic. It can take out a lot of squadrons and really defend you a lot. Even the Skirgs, the 2 blue dice, even Nora, she's got 3 blue dice. You can even have these guys here help kill your opponent's squadrons. The best bit is if they don't have a lot of squadrons, they've only got something like the 3 A-Wings themselves, or 4 A-Wings. You can have these here at the top can go lock down Shara and all the other stuff. They might try and send Taiko to lock these bombers down. Like, yeah, they might succeed in locking Nora down, but hey, look at that. Grit.
Yep.
You know, you've only got 1 squadron left. All these guys, you took out my X-Wings, you took out Jan, you took out Biggs. Now you've only got 1 squadron left trying to lock down my Skirgs. Forget it. Vroom, off he goes. They got grit. So you are not locking them down.
And how Chris loves his Skirgs.
Oh, Chris loves his Skirgs. He loves it. He's watching right now and he's probably like, yeah!
Especially about Nim.
Oh, yeah, especially about Nim. It's Nim's a specialty. I'm not going to get into him because he's really a specialty list. It's something that you would you're building for that
for
the bomber list. Like you're building for that particular bomber list. So chat box is disappearing.
Here we're just talking about the basics and the fundamentals. It's just something that to help you out to think of what you want, and it also depends on the fleet that you're building around too.
As well, yeah. So a lot of the worst thing that these heavy ones can come in contact with is another heavy one because then you're going to do the squadron battle. But one of the advantages about being Rebel is that if you're not facing off a Rebel Biggs ball, there's a good chance you're always going to win this, especially if you can take the 3 X-Wings before. This is the other thing which I'll lead into as well. The other reason why I'm... Oops, wrong button.
Adding ships now, are we?
No, wrong button. Now, here's the fun thing. Now, this also depends on what people are doing. Now, Skirgs, they are much better against ships than Y-Wings. However, Y-Wings often are the better one to take over the Skirgs for a few reasons. One, they're only 10 points, so when you lose one, you're not giving up as many points.
No.
So they are good.
Yeah.
Just make sure that's right. Yep, 134. Cool. The other good thing about a Y-Wing is you've got more of them. Instead of having like 3 Skirgs and perhaps 2 X-Wings, you've now got 3 X-Wings and 4 Y-Wings. You've got 10 Squadrons there. Now, if you know your area is really heavy into Squadrons, and you might even have someone flying the Skirg ball as well, these work better because you can kill them faster with more activations.
Yeah.
Like, it's only 2 dice, but the amount of times you roll... How many times you roll 4 dice with the Squadron and you only get 1 or 2 hits anyway? Yeah. Especially if you haven't got a reroll.
Here you got more dice variance just to roll that 1 or 2 hits that you need.
You do. You got that chance to get that extra hit to kill that final Squadron that you didn't kill because you didn't bring enough Squadrons.
Yeah.
So that's one of the advantages about having more Squadrons. It also helps because you're going to start losing Squadrons in a full-on Squadron battle.
Yeah.
So you're still going to have your bombers left over, especially your escorts, and you're playing well, you're lining everything up well. You'll still be able to have enough there with like 5 bombers there, possibly if Nora's still alive, which she probably would be. She's got 2 braces. That's even 4 Y-Wings. That's still a lot of Y-Wings to put into like an AEST or into a Starhawk. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of why I like the Y-Wing Squadron more over the Skirg. But if you're in an area where not a lot of people are playing Squadrons for some reason, take the Skirgs and punish them. Yeah. Punish them for it.
I'd say just play what you feel is right.
Yeah, play what you feel is right, but this will punish people. So will Skirgs. That will punish people.
Hey, look at Chris. Chris does really well
with
his
he
Skirgs,
does.
So
if you had to remember, your Skirgs have grit. And just,
yeah, well, let's not go there. Let's
let's
not scare the poor bloke again. So he does really well with his Skirgs.
He does really well.
So...
if you want some variants as well, you can also add in your bomber list. You can chuck in like Gold Squadron if you've got the points. They get extra 2 points for the 2 blue into a ship. Definitely great value there because 2 blue dice with bomber, it's really good value as opposed to just 1 black die. You got the Green Squadron there as well, so it helps to... sometimes you have that ship that limps away on one hull. Boom, Green Squadron. Hello. So again, those 2 are both great to add to your bomber ball. If you can afford to get those 2 points in, you don't want to bring as many X-Wings for whatever reason. They're good to add. In fact, I'd probably even add a Gold Squadron over a Skirg as well, so you could actually do that. They're almost, 2 blue bomber versus black blue bomber, as far as I'm concerned, is pretty much the same. There's only 2 of those, 2 icons on those black dice that show the double, and the amount of times you roll, you get 1 hit, and if you re-roll that with Bomber Command, you're going to get a blank. It just seems to be how it is, so yeah, 2 blue with a bomber works just as good there. Something else...
I like what Trash does with Hera. And brings
Hera is
fun. And a rogue squadron and two other say generic ships.
Hera is a fun squadron here. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all these. So I've gone through something that's
just in case you don't want to be pushing squadrons and you want just to do rogue. Hera's the way to go, I'd say. With
she is. There is a problem with Hera.
Right.
Hera is 28 points.
Yeah.
And she makes 2 squadrons rogue.
Yes.
Very powerful. Because you can go and pair her.
And she's rogue herself too.
She's rogue herself, so it's 3 squadrons with rogue.
Yeah.
A lot of people will go and pair her with Shara and Taiko a lot of the time. Shara, Taiko, there we go. So that's 61 points of squadrons. Bit defensive there. Like, hell, Shara, she ain't going down easy. 8 hull, she's got 1 brace. You don't kill her easy.
No.
And she's got, 2 black, 2 blue squadrons, so she's going to hit you hard. That ability to make squadrons rogue, it is very, very powerful in the squadron phase. There's one problem with her, though. Hera is competing. If you've only got 1 of these in your fleet, just 18 points, and you can activate 2 before the squadron phase.
Yeah.
And you have another activation.
Yeah.
If you've only got 1 flotilla in your list, and you're thinking about bringing Hera, to be perfectly honest with you, you are probably much better off bringing just a naked GR75 and just having that activate your 2 squadrons that you want to move.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Rebels having a nice cheap transport.
It is. It's like 18, she still comes in like, what's a Gazanti worth?
24.
A Gazanti is still cheaper than Hera.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Hera. Her ability is fantastic. Making 2 squadrons rogue. Like, you've got 2 generic A-Wings in there. If you want to do that instead, you could do that as well. That comes in cheaper as again. The trouble is that it's... Look, for 18 points, I'll activate them before the squadron phase, and then I'll pounce on you. Hera is fantastic if you're running one of these with CommsNet and Slicer, or you just don't want to bring them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And
That's what I'm going. I'm going for what would you bring as a rogue?
It's all about
variants.
what you would do. The problem. This is the problem. This is the Hera problem, though. Like, she is fantastic. It's also, she's actually kind of good. Where she's really good now is against Onagers.
Yeah.
Because the Onager does have the ability to wipe this thing off the board before it gets close enough, especially if you got one that has H9s.
Yeah.
Because you can put H9s on an Onager, it's rolling, 4 red dice, Confire, long range, 5 red dice, maybe 6 with Ramadi.
Yeah.
So the chances that it can wipe the ship out, it is good. If Onagers aren't a problem, but I'm sure Onagers are a problem,
yes.
then yeah, it can wipe it out before it gets a chance to activate the Squadrons. So that's where Hera, for the extra 10 points, might be worth it. It's trouble though, because it is still 10 points. Like, yes, she is blue-black into a ship. You are picking up something that can put damage into ships. And she's
not bomber.
She's not bomber though, that's the sad bit. She isn't bomber. But still, blue-black dice without bomber is still pretty effective against the ship. It's effective,
but...
It's still very effective against the ship. Not as effective as something with bomber. Like, for 28 points, you can fit in like 2 generic A-Wings for that price. Not worry about the rogue. It really depends. Like, something which a few of them were doing in the league was this is a real nasty combination.
Oh, Skirgs.
You take 2 Skirgs with Hera. That comes into 60
points.
60 points. There you go. 60 points even for that combination. That is a nightmare to deal with a ship, especially if you don't have a squadron list. The only problem is it's still 2 Skirgs, and one of these is probably still better. It is a tough choice. This is one you will have to make and you will have to decide upon. This is the problem I'm having with Hera a lot lately. Like, I really, really like Hera, but for less points, I can go and take one of these. Hell, I can. You can. For less points, I can go and chuck on expanded. Bomber, what does that come in at? 31 points.
31 points.
3 points. I'll activate 3 bombers. And land them into you and rerolls. You know, it's just, it is so tough. It is such a tough thing. If you can't, I don't know, for whatever reason why you couldn't fit a transport in. I don't know.
Trash in his Corvette, in his hammerheads.
Yeah, he just wants to fly the hammerheads with Hera, I suppose. Hera is fantastic. I do love her ability. The trouble is, there are advantages to it, because then it can happen in the squadron phase, because then you can, if you're the first player, you can pounce them first, you can move them around. Another good combo, if you really want to combo her well with, Adar Talon. Yeah, so Adar Talon. So cool.
There is Adar Talon.
So you can have a squadron you can have a ship push a squadron up, attack, Adar Talon, like have it move like one of your Skirgs up, attack, cool, Adar Talon will trigger. It unactivates, Hera's next to it at the start of the phase, then she can move it and off it goes.
Alex is saying Hera, 2 Skirgs, Taiko and Shara.
Yeah, Hera, 2 Skirgs, Taiko. Yeah, he was doing that. Yeah, you were doing that for a little bit there. Yeah, it's a nightmare. The trouble is that you're probably better off with just a bunch of A-Wings. To be honest, you'd get more squadron activations. Sure, you don't have that rogue ability, but like, okay, what are we competing with here? You're talking 3 rogue squadrons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 rogue squadrons there, 60 points.
Right. So you got 60 points to play with.
Got 60 points to play with.
What are you going to do?
Rogue squadron. And where are you? YT 2400s.
That's 62 points there.
Yeah, for 4 squadrons.
4
squadrons.
Yeah.
3 squadrons, 46 points.
And they're all still rogue.
They're all still rogue. You're talking black dice with these things. 4 blue dice as well. They're 4 blue dice, so they are much better at shooting ships. You can even not take the rogue squadrons get 2 more points to get more hull, more speed, and a black dice. I like taking the rogue squadrons opposed to all YTs, just so that way I have that ability to get the extra points and fit something else in. That's probably better than taking Hera.
Hera, yeah.
Like, just taking that, it's
you still got the same amount of rogues in there.
Still got the same amount of rogues. You don't have that grid ability, so you're not having that whole being able to move with the bombers. Like, that is very powerful. But this is probably more effective throughout your games. Running something like this, or even like I said, just
that's the thing.
4 squadrons for 62
Trying to
is
find
probably better than 3 squadrons with
Yeah.
rogue and grit and bomber.
And always trying to find that balance between fighter defense and bomber defense, bomber attack or fighter
It is,
attack.
yeah.
There's always that balancing act that you really want to find out, and you always try to figure out what's going to be the meta for today for that tournament or that particular.
The fun thing now. This is I think this is what Trash took against me. He took 3 YT-2500s. He took a Rogue Squadron. He took that against Shara and 4 A-Wings, and the A-Wings won. Yeah, just remember that. You know, it's something like that. It can still, you know, A-Wings can just work. Shara, Scatter. It's if you want that minimal squadron list around that 50 points. I don't like being locked into simple things like, hey, I can still fly this every once in a while, but it's just so effective.
Because A-Wings
are just so
attack
effective.
Twice, literally.
They basically do.
So when you attack and they attack you back. So
and you're not going to want to. Yeah, sure, they got counter 2. You think, I just want to attack them, but cool. I'll keep attacking you, and they will keep attacking you if you don't attack them.
If you don't kill me, I'll keep attacking you.
These are good because you can't one-shot these ships. You can. It's convoluted, but you can do it.
Yeah.
You know how you can. You can drop a YT. Xeno 5 can drop a YT-2500.
Yeah.
It's doable, but it's unlikely. And because they got the rogue and that, these things will kill off a lot of. With 4 blue dice each, these will kill ships, kill squadrons faster than most other things will. Especially if you've got Torrent Fire in there somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
As well, Rebels. If you're taking squadrons, you're really gonna take that Torrent Fire build. It's so good. But yeah, that's probably the next. That's probably only the minimal squadron. I didn't really cover that. That one when I was talking about minimal squad builds. It is 62 points, so
a little bit on the
a little bit on the pricey. Maybe you do only want the 3. They do have the advantage of having the extra hull in them, so they will live a bit longer. They'll probably take 2, maybe 3 rounds if you're lucky to kill them, but only count on them lasting 2, and you're only giving up 46 points to protect your ships. So it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the best thing to probably the best thing to remember too about strategy with minimal squadrons. I can't give too much advice about strategy with the large bomber arm lists because it's very dependent on what your opponent has on the other side of the table. Minimum squadron lists are easy because they only do one thing.
Yeah.
They protect your ships.
Yeah.
That is it. They don't do anything else.
It's basically his points I give up.
Yeah, his points I give up. And so you go and take yourself, anything.
Greetings, Luke. Welcome. We are live tonight now.
Hey, Luke. Yep, doing it early. So let's go and say... Well, I'm sure a lot of people fly these ships, but I fly this one because I like this one more. The assault, you bring one of these assault cruisers.
Yeah.
We have 2 blue dice anti-squadron.
Nice.
Pretty darn good. Pretty good. The strategy with when you've got one of these ships or anything, especially if you're bringing a ship with two dice. What else we got? Can I just swap this out on? No. So Assault Frigate Mark A. Apparently they're becoming popular now because you chuck on the
local fire
control team.
Yeah.
Get rid of the evade.
Salvo, baby.
Salvo, we love Salvo. What else? Those 2 blues, 2 dice. So the armored cruiser, you bring in armored cruiser. You bring, hell, battle cruiser, 2 black dice. That's still very effective. Pelter, yeah, I love me Pelter. Pelter. But
Pelters, ding.
Pelter.
Anytime he talks to Pelter, ding.
If you've got your Varus and you've only got 4 squadrons, you're playing wrong. I'll just leave it at that. You are playing it wrong. So these things are popular at the moment.
Yeah.
So
that's all I see in the tournaments these days. Starhawks everywhere.
Starhawks everywhere. We thought it was going to be Onagers everywhere, but so far it's nothing but Starhawks. So you're bringing your minimal squadrons. You are defending these ships. You are not going past their medium range.
Yeah.
Don't. Just don't.
No.
Stay within their medium range. Stay within distance 1 to 2 of those ships if you can. Your minimal squadrons are designed to defend these guys. You don't want them running out trying to pounce on, get some type of alpha attack. Don't let it happen. Let them, especially if you've got something like this is the beautiful thing about something like this. Or something like the A-Wings. I'll just bring up Shara. Yeah, something like the A-Wings or something like these. The beautiful thing about these ships. Lots of hull. 4 attack dice back at you in the squadron phase. Let them activate with their squadrons. Let them come at you.
Yeah.
Because if you are lucky or if you are good, if your opponent doesn't... If you activate your opponent and they reel a squadron, they are going to send them at you. let them come in, let them attack your squadrons near your ships, because then when you activate, you're going to fire your anti-squadron army into them. Then come the squadron phase, this is going to pile into
And that's probably one of the biggest tips that you can give Armada players. AA. Even if you...
AA is everything.
AA is everything.
AA is life.
If you have no valid target, just AA.
AA.
Just AA. You never know. Plinking off one hole there could help your squadrons later on in the fight.
Exactly. And that's the best thing. If you're keeping your squadrons within... You have to. I'm pretty sure the measurement is right, but if you keep your squadrons within distance 1 to 2 of your carrier ship or your ship you want them to protect, if they've got blue AA, that AA is going to hit any squadron that comes in to attack them. The way the distance and the ranges and everything work, they have to get in with distance 1 of you. You'll be able to protect them. And if you keep a distance 1 to 2, that will also stop rhino balls. So, which is something you will talk about next week.
Yes.
That will help to stop rhino balls. That protects them from the rhino ball. They won't be able to get past it, because you'll be in that sweet spot where they'll be engaged with you. They'll be able to have range on your ship, but they won't be able to shoot past. So, and Shara and the A-Wings, they do the same thing. Like 4 A-Wings with Shara. You can spread a long line of defense there to prevent them from shooting you. And then you, instead of clustering up, and then you'll get to shoot your AA into them, and then you'll also get to shoot your anti-squadron into them.
Yeah.
It's great. And they've got counter. So that's a lot of attack dice going into them.
Greetings to Anthony. He's supposed to be working from home, but
hey, Anthony. Yep.
We did talk about your one of your lists beforehand. So
we talked about that regionals where you and me both got submarined by him. Yep. How the my 4 A-Wings slowed down your bombers for enough for my corvettes to run away and live. So if you've got that, that's probably the number one thing to remember. You keep them within that bubble, so that way you don't want your defensive squadrons moving past the ability of these guys to flak and AA, because that's generally what will win the squadron battle. The AA attack will win you the squadron fights.
Yeah,
it's the same like when you've got your Varus and you've got a big bomber ball list. If you have a big bomber list, it's the same thing. Like, sure, you might want to quickly run up and charge those squadrons in, but don't forget, you might push them past the point where you can activate them next round. So don't ever let that happen. Don't let them go beyond. I think the correct range is beyond distance 4 of your ship by the end of their movement. You got your little maneuver tool out. You can kind of quickly check it, make sure they're not beyond distance 4, because when you move just 1 straight ahead, they'll be back within your medium range. I'm pretty sure that's the way the measurement works from memory. Right. Or very close to it. But if you keep them, it's all about range games with squadrons. But the best way to keep them close. Keep them in distance 1. If your squadrons are all beyond distance 1 of your ship, like on that edge line of distance 2, or even just on deployment, and even just a little bit past further on out, like distance 3, they're always going to be in range. They're always possibly going to have the AA range when someone comes to attack them, and they'll also have the ability to be activated. So it really is learn the ranges. It's probably something we should have had when we had TTS open, so we could show everybody that.
Yeah.
But I left my stuff, and we had stuff, and we've had technical issues. Technical issues.
Yeah, blame my stuff.
Yeah, I'll blame your setup. You don't want to spend $15 and get TTS, you tight ass. Nah.
It's not $15. I wish it was $15.
Oh, it's not $15 anymore.
No,
it's back at 24 or something.
Yeah, correct. It was up to 30 almost. So.
So that's probably really all I got to say about squadrons. This, like I said, this advice is just generally just sort of blanket cover advice. It's not for like sort of generic sort of list building. If you've got specific lists, there are certain lists that are going to benefit from certain squadrons. Especially if you've got your Varus, obviously that pairs well with Nim's ability. If you've got Bomber Command and you want to use Nim's ability to get rid of the tokens, personally I'd rather just have more Y-Wings, because then you burn for the tokens anyway.
Yeah.
Your chances of getting Nim's ability off are kind of high, they're kind of low, they're kind of up in the air, and it sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. I'd rather take, because how much was Nim? Nim's...
let's have a look.
Let's have a look at Nim. Because this is the thing which people say with some of these, like Dutch Vander, for example. When you hit like 3 blue dice, fantastic, 16 points.
Yeah.
But Gold Squadron. It's good if you're going. The trouble is, he's a bomber. You're wanting to shoot ships. You don't want him to shoot squadrons. Like, it is good if you got your Varus. You can double tap 2 squadrons. Yay! But I'd rather have a ship that is killing those squadrons. Whoop. Yep. You didn't do that. Cool.
There you go. Back to you.
Back to that.
Yep.
Cool. Back to that. Dutch Vander, great, cool, but you need to know how to play And if you're taking Dutch, then you're taking Wedge as well. Wedge's ability, so ship that's activated, you throw another dice at it. You got flight controllers. Hey, look at that.
Which,
6 dice with Wedge is a real problem.
Yeah.
Wedge Dutch, it's a problem. You do that twice, you virus. Yeah, it's great. If that's your plan.
Early on in Armada,
The early days,
seeing Wedge.
I used to fly Dutch Wedge quite a bit.
It's just nasty.
Yeah, they were the only named ones back then with Luke and that. It's just,
just 6 dice. Yeah, the 6 dice just freaked the hell out of me, and then try and fire re-roll that bad boy.
It's same with 10 Num. Again, really good anti-squadron. Does that splash damage. He's given me a lot of grief at times as well. So he's also a good one. But again, you've got to think about how you're playing him. Yeah. And he's 19 points. You've got to be... The squadrons I suggested, they're good starting points to get you thinking about squadrons and how to build and what you want to build. Yeah. They'll work for anybody. But things like putting 10 Num, putting Wedge, putting Nim... in a list, you need to be thinking about what you're doing, what your target priorities are, and how you're going to do it. Yeah. And they're also only good against some lists too, like Nim's ability, cool, black crit, sweet. Oh, look at that. DCO, contain.
Yeah.
Done. Doesn't care. Then he's 21 points. 2 A-Wings. 2 Y-Wings. 2 Y-Wings, it's black die. You may choose and discard one of the defender's tokens. That is great. But the best way to get them to discard tokens? Get them to spend them. Yeah. And keep just shooting and shooting. And look at that. Oh, redirect's cool. You got 1 redirect. Cool. I just threw a hit crit into your side with a Y-Wing. Okay, I'll redirect 2 to the front. Cool. I just threw another one with a hit crit. Oh, crap. Do I take the hit and crit, or do I take the or do I redirect it?
From Anthony, my most recent Rebel squad ball that I had success is Lando, Corrin, Wedge, Dudge, supported by a GR75 carrying Torren and Slicer tools.
Sorry,
it's Lando.
Lando.
Corrin.
Yep.
Wedge.
Yep.
Dutch. And supported by a GR75 carrying Torren and Slicer.
Dutchy. I went past him. He's at the top.
He's at the top. There he is.
So, just those 4?
Yeah, just those 4.
So, GR75, Torren and Slicer. Yep. So, let's have a look. We are looking at 80 points on the dot. This is a nightmare of 80 points. This is. Because you've got the rogue, you're going to take damage. You can't avoid it.
No. It is
avoid it.
It is unavoidable.
It is inevitable.
It is unavoidable.
Yep. I was thinking Jan in here as well, but no, you don't need it. Dutch. Let's have a look. Yeah, this here is a perfect example of he built it, he knows how to use it. Yeah. Because I'm looking at this now, and if you make a mistake with this list, with these squadrons, you will be punished. You come up against something squadron heavy, and if you're not careful with Corrin, you want to keep Corrin back to get that snipe for into something high valued like Jan, like Mola Mythal, something which has Suntia Fel, something which has a high counter Shara. You want this to get into Shara. So yeah, if you're flying this good, then you are sweet. Having said that, just send Lando up, Shara dies 2 turns. Yeah. He'll still live. He'll still live. Yeah. Probably. Yeah, what can Shara do back? 6 the most, leaves him on 1. Brace. Yeah, I suppose I'd probably still do it, just to kill Shara. Keeps everything else alive. So 80 points on the dot. That this is a perfect example of that. He built it, and I'm sure Anthony, you know exactly what to do with it. Now I'm worried about our Vassal game we're going to play. Get on Discord, mate. We're going to talk about some Vassal times when we can play. There's me and a few others want to play with you for the league, so jump on. That is... God, there's a lot of nastiness in that, isn't
it? It is. A
lot of nastiness.
It's like, what do you go for first? Try to kill Lando, try to get into Corrin in space. You just don't know.
It's really hard because look, the problem you got is that you have to be careful of the Dutch Wedge combo because he's gonna, especially if you haven't got a squadron pusher in your list and you're just flying the A-Wings, like you probably don't have to worry about too much. Just let him have it because you're gonna waste a lot of time on those A-Wings. But yeah,
I'd say you probably want to get the jump on first.
You probably really want to get the jump, and the one you really want to kill is Dutch. Yeah. Like Lando's powerful, Lando's great, but he can only do that trick twice. Yeah. He can only do it twice, and then after that he's just basically 7 hull, and he'll just drop to AA. In this list, if you want to counter this, you want to jump on Dutch first because if you do not have a squadron pusher, even if you do, because Dutch's ability to activate one of your squadrons so that way it can't attack, that is pretty powerful if you've got a minimum squadron build like just the 4 A-Wings.
Yeah.
So something like that is pretty good. You probably want to wipe that out before Wedge comes along and probably one-shot an A-Wing with Torrent Fire reroll. You could just ignore him, just go straight into Wedge and just get everything into Wedge and drop him first because he is a heavier hitter than Dutch, but Dutch is probably the one that can probably hurt you the most in this. It is a really great combination.
They're all heavy hitters.
They're all heavy hitters.
Except for Dutch, but Dutch is there for his ability, basically.
It is 80 points, so it does start eating into, for a minimal squadron list, it does start eating into what your ships can possibly do.
Yeah.
But, hey, if it keeps Slicer Tool alive, Lando, oh, cool, you haven't got squadrons. Cool, oh, look at that, you got a Slicer Tool something over there as well. I'm just going to, yep, cool, it's gone, and thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And then if you bring those objectives where you get your tokens back,
Asteroid Tactics.
Asteroid Tactics. Your opponent picks Asteroid Tactics, and you got Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, jeez, man. Oh.
Yeah.
You're in for a bad time.
Yeah. So this here is a very, very effective squadron ball. This is one though that you need to be a player who knows how to use this. I can see that from this now, and I'm just looking at thinking, God, that is a nightmare. And how would I deal with that with a minimum ball? I don't know how you deal with an Imperial. We should probably come back to that next week, and then we can all just basically talk about how we can.
It took on 10 A-Wings and came out unscathed.
Oh, it would. If you're flying that well, you would easily take on 10 A-Wings. Easily take out 10 A-Wings.
Yeah.
If you fly it well enough. I don't know if you want to kill Lando or if you want to kill Dutch. I think the secret... Oh, well, Wedge has got escorts. So you have to shoot Wedge first anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem, really. You got to kill Wedge first. Yeah.
Unless if you play it right. It's
just, the only way, like 10 A-Wings could take this out easily enough if it's played... Again, but the person with the 10 A-Wings, he has to play it correctly.
Yeah.
You have to be able to isolate the squadrons off, and that's very, very hard to do. Oof, that is a problem. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's all we got time for now.
That's all.
Yeah, we're going for about an hour now, an hour and 5.
Yeah. Yep. So that was
Voice is getting hoarse now.
Lots of AA as Alex said, you basically need to use, but that was a pretty comprehensive list.
Yeah, I hope that helped people out with some ideas. So if you got the balls, try Anthony's idea.
Yeah.
If you got the 80 points to spend, that is a pretty good, pretty nasty ball to deal with.
Yeah, like in the end, just experiment with stuff. Really, you can. Like with Rebels, there's so many stuff and variances you can do. There's never really a wrong answer. It's just how you apply.
There really isn't.
It's how you apply onto it. Like you can balls it up sometimes when you deploy them.
What's
or
a wrong answer? B-Wings.
B-Wings can work.
B-Wings also work too.
B-Wings can work if you have all
fighters.
Space,
all fighters follow me.
All fighters follow me.
It does. I don't think.
You just need.
Oh yes.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, Wait. Sorry. You got transition.
Yes.
There is one bad choice. Someone will prove me wrong. I guarantee you. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a bad choice.
He's great. I've given him the juices again.
Oh, no. Stop telling me stuff because then the brain ticks over.
Yeah.
All right, where are we?
I give him one rebel list and he starts thinking about stuff.
Here we go. I think these two are a bad choice. Cool. Yeah, all right, cool. I'll activate and I'll just drop a bomb and then you'll shoot it and nothing will happen. Stop him shooting my ship, but look, he's 22 points.
He's not the greatest. All right.
It's not the greatest thing. You know, I'm kind of disappointed. Actually, in some ways, I'm almost disappointed in this ship because I thought Sato's hammer, cool, pairs well with the Sato list. I tried on the Sato list. Yeah, not that great. Not that great. Like, it's got the 6 hull. I can kind of sit in front of a ship and just, the ship keeps running over it. Yeah, cool. Okay, whatever. But, yeah, it's not that great. Then, I've never seen, was it Melee?
Yeah, that's more if you're
melee. You're once per activation, while a friendly ship is attacking a ship at distance 1 of you, and you are engaged by one or fewer squadrons, the attacker may spend a die to change one die to a face with a crit.
Yeah, it's one or two once in a while.
26 points. It's a weak Screed for 26 points plus,
it's basically the cost of Screed for 26.
Basically, it is pretty much. Like, is Screed 26 points?
You're 26 points.
26 points Screed Squadron. Yeah, okay. But if I'm honest, okay, look, to be honest, you can stick him in a list and you can have a tactic and a plan. It works. But, the whole idea of, I'm going to activate and drop a bomb instead of shooting you. Well, just shoot him. You'll probably get the hit.
Yeah.
And the bombs can still be like, oh, look at that. You just roll accuracies. It's a dice roll, those mines, isn't it? I think. Those mines are a dice roll, aren't they?
Yes, they're dice rolls.
Yeah, so, yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, it's dice roll. And it's like, okay, yeah, cool, then my dice
I think it's 2 blue dice. On top of my head, I can't remember. I have to go and check. I haven't played.
Yeah.
The only thing is we haven't played Rebellion Room. Haven't played that for a while.
No, I haven't played that for a while. I haven't played it all.
Yes. Like my current experiment, Blount and 17 Headhunters. We can tell about C95s, Ian, and tons of Z95s.
It works. 17 of those things. Oh, yeah, it'll work.
Remember that time you just kept rolling blanks and just like...
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I didn't have 17 at the time. I had all my Z95s and they just kept on re-rolling the blank and blank and blank. It's frustrating. You know what's better with than 17 Z95s and Blount?
No.
17 Z95s, Blount and flight controllers in Torrent Far. That's what's better.
Torrent Far doesn't work on Z95.
Flight controllers.
Oh, flight controllers. What's that one?
That's the one where you had the blue dice.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. You had the blue dice and the Torrent Far lets you re-roll that blue dice.
Yeah.
And then you take something that pushes 5 squadrons. It can push 4 squadrons with a token, plus Rammers and Antilles. Oh man, you can do it on a Starhawk.
Oh.
You can push 5.
Oh no!
5 squadrons a turn on Starhawk.
Oh no!
Oh, 5
we're gonna be here for hours just talking about this mess.
I'll put flight controls on that. I'll get back to that one. Yeah. Lexi and I will talk later.
All right, come back next week.
Come back next week.
Come with a jank fleet.
We'll do something janky next week.
But next week we'll be talking about Imperial Squadrons.
We'll go Imperial Squadrons.
And I'll talk about my Imperial Squadrons and the other useful squadrons that are around. But I'll talk about some good defensive squadrons on a type, because I'm not big on squadron balls like the big. I've never.
Yeah, but Imperials have the best.
They have the best Imperial squadrons, but I'd like to do it on the cheap. So
yeah, on the cheap. Yeah,
We'll do
both.
But I'll talk about both. But I'll definitely talk about my main experiences on the cheap. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Any other comments, queries, concerns? Definitely comment on Facebook, YouTube, Discord. If you want us to see us talk about a certain subject, we'll be happy to talk about it. Ian and I will talk about Armada for
we'll
days
talk about
and days.
anything. Yeah.
Days and days. Even X Wing as well. We will talk about X Wing
maybe
a little bit. I will.
You will.
I will.
You'll understand your own voice, so you'll talk and talk and talk.
I'll talk all day.
You'll talk all day.
But apart from that, that's it for today. Anything you'd like to close off, Ian? With just one point about fighters, Rebel fighters. One thing you want to take away is the last point on Rebel fighters.
A-Wings are the best Rebel fighters, best cost-effective, best usefulness, followed by X-Wings.
Okay.
Followed by Y-Wings, then everything else.
Fantastic.
Stop there!
Yeah, so next week will be the Imperial side of things, and we'll go from there. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Give us a like as always, and remember, like, subscribe, like us on Facebook, and fly! Casual!